We looked like aliens for the whole thing.
Hey, I think it would be awesome. We were gonna on Instagram, do like a little mask for you, but it just didn't work out.
Instagram people, I'm sure, would be deeply grateful.
Obviously.
Oh, that's right in front of my face.
Hi, this is my face. Hi. I love it that we have 3 cameras.
Yeah, I mean, because one's not enough. 2's not enough.
Never, never.
So here we are.
Sorry, it's been a month.
We had sort of a crisis a couple weeks ago of time. And so
Insanity. And that. Be real.
Hi, Lauren. And so we did not go live 2 weeks ago because we just couldn't. And so that prompted some conversation.
It did indeed.
Between us about where we're going to go with Women of Wellness and WooWoo in the Brain. And so we have a lot going on. I feel kind of like maybe it's nice.
Should we talk about it?
Well, you talked about it this morning a little bit in your live. So I know, it's reinventing the wheel for you. I think it's just nice for people to get the gist of what we're trying to accomplish. I feel like that's what it's about. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. So if you want to, feel free.
Yeah. Well, I did go live I know.
I hope it doesn't look like that.
Maybe it's dark and maybe it's super bright and
room.
Natalie's brightness on her phone is like at a 0 because that happens to me often. She's not very good with technology.
Sorry. I just looked over. I was like, we look like we're in
Instagram. We look like we're in
So
shadows.
I'm hoping it doesn't actually
we're not
look
sure
like that.
if you actually can see us, but you can hear us, right? We should have just probably done alien faces. It probably would have been easier. Hey, wave at those peeps.
Hi, wave.
We're waving.
Wave. I waved.
There's too many things in technology.
Oh, I wanted to see if we could filter. No, I might. Well, okay, I won't mess with it now. All right, I was going to make us aliens for this one.
So my crisis of sanity was 2 weeks ago, and I called Jen in the morning, and I was like, "Girl, no." I texted you the night before. I was like, "Girl, I don't know." I've got the things, and then I've got these other things, and then I have these things on top of those things. People.
Yep.
We all know that I'm crazy, right? It's been it's obvious that I have way too many things on my plate at all times. So
there's a lot.
I am teaching 2 online classes this quarter, which always is what tips it over for me because I have to be, ready for my graduate students at any time to grade or whatever. And so I am teaching. I'm an online graduate university professor. I am working full-time as a psychologist. I see all my clients and supervisees during the week. I have learned to love your-story.com that I've been working feverishly on. And Jen and I, what do we use? 2 months ago? 2 months ago started a master class.
Was it only 2 months ago? Because it feels like
2 years. Like 2 years ago. But I think it was only 2 months ago. Wow. Woo! 2 months ago, we started a Broadcast Your Brilliance through Inspired Living masterclass on media, use of social media and use of video in particular, and kind of helping you with your business. So, which obviously is a big thing for her and I. And so we've been doing that, and that is like legit. There have been some moments with my homework where I've lost my marbles.
We've all had it. I had one that I worked on really hard. I got my background all set up, and I was like, and I just winged it. It was bad. I kind of like, okay, I got to get a video, and I did it. And I was not a great space, and I sat down and I filmed it. At least it looked nice. The background was good, right?
The background was gorgeous.
I loaded up. It's upside down. I was like, this noise. I was like, I can't even care. I legit, when I say I was like, whatever. It is just, it's literally like going back to school in its own right. Like the homework and the things that we're doing. And it's all really good. Like I want to be clear.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great program. But it's drinking
through a fire hose.
It sure enough is. It's like, trying to get a sip out of a fire hose. So there's a lot going on. And so I'm trying to do my jam over here, which is doing, Laughing Lotus Wellness full time and Insight Timer and events and teaching courses and trying to
just a few things,
do all the videos and the So we had to have a little bit of a come to Jesus, if you will, about women of wellness. And so I think our culmination was right now trying to have the time to set aside to plan and then video and do the things is like
one thing
it's like it just tipped us both into this, like, okay, even though we like love it, the hard thing is that it's something that we both really enjoy.
Of all of them,
so it's kind
like
of a drag. It's like it's hard to like let go of something that really I think is super fun for us. Like we enjoy this time, and we've had really like just so much fun, I think, in our conversations about creating that.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Well, hi, Kat. Kat's with us this morning.
Hi, Kat. How
and
are you?
so we are just, I think, making the determination that right now, given all of the things with what we're trying to do for work and then building something behind the scenes. And I think that's why it was really important for us to let you guys know what we're doing behind the scenes, because it's not that anybody's going to lose sleep if Women of Wellness is on in here for 2 weeks. We're not saying that, but we do feel responsible to like show up and be like, hey, this is where we are. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We love this. We love this. And it's our pausing is an effort to keep our sanities. So,
and to keep quality, like what we offer is, we put a lot of work into it, you guys. Like we do.
It's more work than you might know.
It's more work than you might know, because she and I could just like laugh and giggle and whatever. And we riff on things quite well. Obviously, it's not like a scripted thing. But we put a lot of thought in what we want to bring to you guys. And there's a certain amount of integrity that she and I both have around our work in general.
Absolutely.
So, you know, B work maybe, but C and D work not okay for us.
Right,
and that's what we would be giving you if we continue to do this every other week.
Yep.
So woo-woo in the brain. Like we have stuff. We're going to keep posting stuff that we've already done and kind of keeping that up in the threads. So we're not going away from social media altogether.
Right.
Once in a great while, she and I probably will pop on it more impromptu.
Yep. I think it would look more like casual, and I think, or it will look like events that we would then tell you guys about. So it's not like, so if we were ever wanting to do like another class, we did one before, we had really great response to it. I think it's going to look more like that for the next bit to give Natalie and I the space to really nurture both of our businesses that's really right now. And here's what I think I want to model. One is I'm with Natalie. We don't half-ass anything. We whole-ass the whole thing.
We always whole-ass. We've got whole-asses.
So we want
to whole-ass
whatever we do. Thing. So we can't whole-ass this. And it's right. Don't you see those T-shirts and mugs everywhere you go? So put your whole ass into it. So I need a mug that says that. But anyway.
You do.
I think what I would hope is that us doing this is modeling for all of you as well, that it's really important. We talk a lot about, both of us, like self-care and self-awareness. And so hopefully we're mirroring for all of you that sometimes it means you will have to take a pause, even in the really, like, this is fun for both of us. Like we really enjoy our time. And so sometimes in the journey of something that you feel like you are, being called to do, you're going to have to make concessions to make sure that you can show up really well.
Yes.
And so right now,
beautifully
both
said.
of us have lanes that we're working in. And that's really where, we're taking a really not cheap course, masterclass. Yes.
You drink from a fire hose and you pay money to do it. Like good, real money to do it.
So I think our theory is that we're spending this money to learn this wisdom. We probably really want to throw our whole selves in that. And so but we'll be around. And I like what Natalie said about, we're going to try to stay in there. And I think the neat thing for me is that, I would reflect that this journey has been really powerful for me, that during COVID, us making our video docuseries, that was so
amazing.
It was amazing. It is amazing. Actually, it wasn't to me. It is amazing. And I think it kept me really rooted. I feel really blessed not only to have created something that I feel really, like, I know this sounds really prideful, like proud of, like I'm really proud of what we created. I'm really proud of the people that came and stepped forward and did that journey with us. And it saved my ass. I mean, I think during COVID, I don't know, it was like an anchor. So like, I just feel so grateful for that too. And I want to put that out there that, nothing is an accident, and that divine guidance was like, want to make a video series on supporting
Teen
and bringing
suicide?
awareness to teen suicide? Like, yes, I do. And we did.
Yes,
I mean, we
yes.
meant business.
Mhm.
So I, we will plan on staying in touch with everyone and letting you guys know what we're up to. Again, we'll continue doing things together. We're not done.
Oh gosh, no.
Just Women of
No.
Wellness and WooWoo right now needs to pause so that Natalie and I can really be both feet in our endeavors and the dream that we're building there.
Yes.
And I just think that, this will continue to morph and shift and transform. And I think that's really cool, is that I think neat things where there's energy will continue to sort of just transform with time into like whatever that's going to be
whatever
for us.
that's going to be for us.
So I think that's neat. And so we, thank you all for joining us, and we hope you don't go anywhere. We hope you don't, right? Like,
we hope you don't
stay
go
in
anywhere.
touch. Like, we're not going, we're not dead. We're not dead. Oh, what did it say? Oh yeah. Okay. So excited for both of you and all the magic. You're both working out. Yeah. I'll be freaking there for your whole ass events. Thank you,
our
Lauren.
whole ass events. Yes.
Oh, your lives help ground my whole ass.
We
in
will.
2021. Thank you, sweetheart. You know what? Truth. Like, really, that's where I'm grateful, is that even if it was something for, some people to look forward to and to grab some knowledge in a really freaking dark and complicated time.
Yes.
I feel really grateful for that. I feel grateful for my friendship. And
it was really, which honestly also was part of a call to connection. And when that series of suicides started, it was prior to COVID, being an American problem yet.
A whole problem.
A whole world problem.
A whole ass world problem.
So it hadn't reached us, and I think what we were trying to do is, in our corner of the world, take our wisdom and do something like to be the change in the world that we want to see, to actually participate in being change makers. Yeah. And that just kept going. Yeah. Into, COVID and social distancing and all the things. And we just really wanted to keep doing something in our corner of the world and helping people in any way that we could. Absolutely. And we will continue to do that, and continue to do that with our two businesses. Yes. We'll use Women of Wellness. We'll keep you plugged in to what's happening at Laughing Lotus Wellness and what's happening with Learn to Love Your Story. And you can see us, in our endeavors through those things. And I'm sure, we'll still do something like this from time to time. It just might not always be with Women of Wellness. Yeah. So we'll let you guys know, though.
So you have to just follow along. And I think, too, I hope you're following Natalie. I hope you're following me. I invite you guys to follow us on social medias. And you're going to see us because we're friends. I mean, I think the thing that's really neat is that this has been such a lifesaver too for me during COVID.
Siri, I didn't know you needed to talk to us.
That bitch wants a piece of
my life. She just trying to come in.
She's trying to talk over me. Did you hear that?
You know what? She needs to see my earrings. Fuck.
Oh,
that is what my earrings. I just want you to know. So Jen bought these for my birthday. So sweet. They say "fuck off." You can't really see. I can't get close enough because it's across the table. Anyway, I had to legit re-pierce this ear to make this one fit in my second piercing because it had closed up.
So cute, though. It's so cute.
I know.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's the word "fuck," but it's so cute. Anyway, so during the COVID, this allowed us, our work allowed us to be like, you're part of our family, like that, because our world got really, really small. So the other piece of it that I think was such a blessing was having this beautiful connection in a time when everybody was feeling so disconnected. Yes. It was a lifesaver. That's all I'm trying to say. That was a fucking long-winded, and no one's shocked by my long-winded, whatever.
Lauren has fuck off earrings too.
You are my favorite. No wonder I love you. Now I feel like I need a pair. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what Etsy's all about.
That is what Etsy's all about. Oh my God, we looked and looked and looked for a while to find your ones that we really dug. So anyway, we're grateful for your showing up for us, for hanging out with us, and we're going to try to also issue out some of the video series from this teen suicide. We know that's heavy, friends. So I just want to say what I think we'll do is probably kind of like drip those out a little bit at a time. And what my hope would be, friends, honestly, if we could ask you a favor, please share that shit. It is so good. And even if it's kind of weird that we're on Zoom, and it is so beautifully edited and it's so crucial to our culture and mental health given COVID. And Natalie said something in a live, and God knows, because we do so many videos this day, I can't even remember which fucking video it was, but what she said was that.
What was it? Was it brilliant?
We're not, it was. We're not done this COVID after effect. We are all going to be going through layers of recovering ourselves. And so it's not any less important to be sharing that kind of content with the world than it was when we did it. And so I just feel really strongly that
might be more so.
Right. Precisely. And so what I would say to you all is if you see one of those videos and you feel called to share that out and call people into that series, we would be really grateful because we did it so people would hear it. We did it so we could connect people with these ideas and start creating a different culture around teen suicide. And that's something that we will always have really strong feelings about. What is your address? Text me after this. Oh my God, girl, we are getting you a pair. I was like, what? I read backwards. You know, it's a good idea. Read the feed backwards, Lauren. We're on it. We're on it. I mean, we'll have matching. This. We'll have matchers earrings. So anyway, so we would be grateful for that because that's something that we are really passionate about. And the people that gave up their time and energy to help join with us to create that was an act of service.
It really was.
And so if we can make it worth their time too, I mean, a piece of this is we want them to feel as well like it was well worth their time to be part of that journey. Because it was hours of their lives they, dedicated to helping us do this thing. So anyway, we're just, super grateful, and we're sad that we will not be here like, regular, because that was something that brings us both joy. And you'll just have to watch for us to be silly in other ways on lives with one another
all the time.
So that'll be silly, playful, probably today. Name. Like I will probably go live with you today for my just Jen being Jen.
Jen being Jen.
Jen being Jen with Natalie video.
There you go.
So you can maybe look for that. So that'll probably be coming around today. So anyway, so yeah, just grateful. Is there anything else you want to talk about though? I mean, like we've got the people. I mean, is there anything you want to?
We've got the people.
We've got the people. Well, I will say this, unless you have an idea. I would say we talked about the whole social media hot mess that ensued. That was one. No, and we don't have to go there. I'm just, but I'm
though.
Well, but I'm just saying because we don't have anything else. But I'm just unless there's something else.
I still have thoughts. About
I'm shocked. Sorry, that was such a smart ass thing to say. What? We have thoughts.
We have thoughts.
So no, but did you have something else? Because you look like you had an inspiration. I never want to steal your inspiration if you had another.
Jen, I have ADHD today. And did not take my meds. Let's just say that much. So if I had an inspirational thing to say, it's gone. It left the building.
It left the building. It left the building. The good thought left.
No, just, reiterating what Jen said. And thank you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being excited about this stuff, because that is what makes us want to do this too.
Absolutely.
I mean, clearly.
Absolutely.
Two middle-aged women just talking to the interwebs
doing the
at
things.
12 in the afternoon on Fridays, and people like it. We were like, what?
One of our people in our group was super cute, Devin. She's this really smart woman, psychologist. And she came into one of our office hours in our group that we're doing. And she goes, I'm sorry, I was running late. I got sucked into watching Natalie and Jen's videos. I was like, that's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
I think I would leave us with this. I think if we're going to leave, let's leave a nugget of wisdom, because that feels like that's what we did. I mean, that was the whole idea of WooWoo the brain and blah, blah, blah. So it's not maybe mystical today, but we sort of watched somebody implode on social media. And this is not about, and we want to say very clearly, this is not at all us picking on someone. It was just a really hot minute. And here's the reason why that's really prudent to us is we're working on growing in that space.
Absolutely.
So for me, when I watch someone have a minute and I'm like, whoa, like, oh, that, like, oh, so then it makes me reflect, like how would I want to show up to a space? And I think social media is it's really hard. I'm going to tell you what, I've had my first
trolls are mean
person be, really ungenerous. When I say I'm talking, it took me a day and a half to like shake it off.
Yeah.
So I also understand the backside of what people do on social media, that it's everyone else and what it is, which is why we reflected it. It's like we're here. Like, no, that's like meetings to prepare and like getting shit organized. Like it's not quite what it ever looks like. And so everything that people do in social media, there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of energy in it. And
the bigger you get, there's like
the harder it is.
A team of people
exactly helping
you. To do that. Yeah.
And it's bigger, right? It's more to rein in. So we were processing about a celebrity that's on social media, and she's really super well known. And she got in her social media and made a comment that reflected in a way that didn't sound super flattering. Like she wasn't watching how she was talking about she has people help take care of her home. She has a home cleaner. Which is fine, right? It was how it kind of came out of her mouth, and then people were like, that's not relatable. And then she kind of got off on this, I work really hard for all these things. And so she sort of ended up.
Are we not saying her name? I mean, it's not like
it's no, I know. I'm just trying not to like be super, I don't care, I guess. But I'm trying to be respectful because it doesn't really matter who it is. It's just somebody that it was hard to watch it unfold.
It was painful.
I was like, what's happening? Because
it was painful.
I don't watch a lot of social media stuff, to be honest with you, because if I do, I get sucked in and I get like really bad imposter. It's Rachel
Hollis. That's it. Rachel Hollis.
And Rachel had a minute, and I'm going to tell you, I followed her for years. And so this is not, I literally want to say loud and clear, not an insult to her. So I am not insulting her.
It's an opportunity.
Do you know what I think it is? Moment.
It is an opportunity to pivot in a privileged world, right? And talk about privilege and what it takes away from whole groups of people. And there's lots of different privileges. Like what she said was something about a woman, yes, I have somebody that cleans my toilets. But, that's not generous, as Jen would say. That's not generous to women who do
clean homes. That's a job.
Yeah,
that's a profession.
And men. I believe there was a gender bias in this too. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what was all said. But anyway, when called on it, there was more tantrum than there was to, and it's an opportunity at that point to say, wow, I did not see myself say that. I did not hear myself in that way. I appreciate getting that feedback. I should do better. Yeah. I mean, her whole platform is, girl, wash your face, girl, all that. I mean, it's a very anti-feminist type statement. And she was called on that. And instead of owning it in a way and pivoting, she did something else. That was her choice, right?
Right.
And my opinion around this is people in high places with high amount of privilege also have high amount of responsibility to be the ones that pivot. And white privilege is kind of one of the biggest, right? White supremacy is definitely underneath. That's the programming and conditioning underneath a lot of oppression in our country and worldwide, but in our country, I'm speaking to specifically. It is always an opportunity when you mess up to show up to that opportunity and pivot better. And if this doesn't become a people in privileges problem to fix, it won't get fixed, people. This is not the oppressed's problem. This is the oppressor's problem. And it is so embedded in what we do and see and hear and talk about. It's okay when we mess up. And I really want to create a culture around it's okay when you mess up and have those conversations. Like call me on it. Call me on it. And I would rather pivot from there and start to dismantle and deconstruct privileges of all kinds. I was just reading an article actually that was super interesting on pretty and thin privilege and how pretty and thin people don't realize that they're privileged in that way and that other people, I mean, it's like if your body aligns with what ideals are for beauty, great, good for you. But I think that's like 20% and that's being generous of the human population because many people don't fit in these aspirational, I don't know if they're aspirational, but in these definitions. Anyway, Jen and I were talking about that. I was just like, wow, did you watch that go down? Because she just she just melted out.
I think for me,
such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think for me and Natalie went in the direction of, and I totally get where you're going, which is this, we've had a lot of race issues, and that's true. And
opinions.
For me, no, you're welcome your opinions. No, for me, I try to people get enough of that. So my take was, for me, I think what bums me out is in a global way, accountability. It was just, it was for me, what struck me is, and you're exactly right, those are all pieces of that, but it's speaking to our need for accountability and how I just feel like we kind of want to like, shrink away from it. It's like, no, like if we're going to have big responsibility, and I love how you said that, there's a responsibility to show up in your errors as well and say, I really flubbed that up. And eventually, by the way, she did come back and apologize. So she has very, with mindfulness, tried to show back up and redeem and say, I'm deeply aware that I've offended people and I'm really, really sorry about that. So good for her for getting there. In the sandwich part of that, it was pretty ugly. And I think it really was this insight of like, this is not an easy life.
No, what we're doing is not easy.
It's not
put
an easy
yourself
life
out there
because
you do put yourself into.
It's vulnerable. It's really, and
limelight.
that's right. And so it's in it. There's a vulnerability around that because
limelight. What would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you and I and our 80 people that follow us is not really limelight. But yeah, no, we're right. But what we're saying is right. We're putting ourselves out there. So whether you've got 80 followers, 8,000 or 800,000, you've got a lot of responsibility and people are looking at you. And so unless you're cooking food and bless your heart, good for you, because maybe that's safer. I don't know. You're going to have your stuff out there. It's going to be up for interpretation.
Yeah, it's gonna, and it's, privilege doesn't get deconstructed without accountability or without people who have it being able to recognize that they didn't necessarily write that construction either.
Right.
They just live in it.
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes.
And then we just have to learn.
There is a huge culture of perfectionism, which in my opinion is also part of white supremacy, but I won't bore you with my connection to that, but this construct programming and conditioning around being perfect is really killing us.
Yeah.
It's killing us as a humanity. It just is. Yeah. And so it's just an opportunity. I think anytime things like that happen, it's always an opportunity to show up.
Yep. And what you're modeling for people is the ability to step into that. So every time you do something, and it's why I wanted to be clear about like what Natalie and I were doing, why we're shifting, is it's not that anybody was going to lose sleep over it. It's that we feel really strongly that we continue to show up and model for people self-care. We model what we talk about.
Yes.
We are practicing. If we would make an error, I would hope that we would step up and say, gosh, I really flubbed that up, or I said that really poorly, or whatever. And also that I have compassion for people who are doing those things, because behind the scenes, there's an incredible amount of work. You pour your heart and soul into it. And so it can be really painful. And those people are barraged with negativity. I'm going to tell you what, if I had one person and I felt like I was going to die, I'm telling you what, I don't even know. I'm going to have to hire somebody to look through my shit. Because I need to not answer the comments. That's me. I'm like, I would say something. It's hard. Well, it's hard, one, not to say something and respond because you're human. And two, that's not even what it's about. Well, so what bums me out is when people are negative to you, they're not getting they're not getting it, and they're not going to get it. And that's okay. Right. Like, I don't care if you don't get it. The meanness that I sometimes see in social media, you would think is just for teens. It's not, friends. I mean, some people were scathing about what has gone on. And I've seen it elsewhere, even when it really wasn't, like someone was making an error. And I can't tell you how many people on social media say, this is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Because unless you have a thick ass skin, people are going to say stuff to you. They're going to come at you. They're going to judge you. It is going to happen, right? I mean, that's the thing, is like, it's going to happen. And tolerating that is really tough. So I also have this compassion for, I don't live in that realm. No. Our 80 followers or what, no, we don't. We don't have any love you guys. We just love everybody. Like, we're fine. It's good. Like what, my 300 people on Inside Timer, my whatever, great. But I'm just saying, I can only imagine if I felt like that with one person being really wretched to me personally, and you had somebody being really wretched to you personally. Really rude. It is really hard to sit in. Like, it just really gave me a reference of like, God, I took for granted that like this was, I'm sturdy and I have a good self-confidence. And but when you feel more reason personally
to use these as opportunities to pivot, because the more that becomes the norm, the less troll behavior will incite a nervous system response, which is really what it does. Like, you just go, totally, you can feel it inside of your body.
Exactly.
And I think the more that we I'm not going to accept that shaming from you.
Right.
I will be accountable for what I've done wrong. And I might feel
Yes.
some shame when I do something wrong,
Right.
but I'll hold that accountability. I'll pivot.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. And that, when that becomes the culture, really dismantles the trolls and their ability to make you feel like crud.
No, it totally does. And it takes, you know, we have a village. I mean, so if I have a bad time, I call Natalie and Natalie calls me, and we
always.
So, I mean, that's, you know, that's how we cope with it behind
and then
the scenes.
We say the things that we would not like to write on
we're a
social
whole lot
media.
less graceful probably when we have our conversations. But I think it's worthy of saying it, because I would also encourage people to have compassion when you're out there in social media. If you're getting constructive feedback, that's delightful. Like, that's fine. And we need it sometimes. If it's like your opinion that you don't like something, why am I talking? I always talk about Gabrielle Bernstein said, wait, which means, why am I talking?
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes find that, and it sort of shocks me. I find it in places like Insight Timer, where I didn't imagine in a meditation space that people would be.
Space.
But apparently it's everywhere. And so I just really invite that insight as well. Like, we need to be accountable. Absolutely. We have big responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be out in social media and sharing your content and your purpose and whatever, we have big responsibility. And I would say to the communities around us that I would also ask you a responsibility about your communication with the people that you're watching. Mm-hmm. If you don't like something, keep on trucking on. Like, I'm like, you know, I just like, you know, right. Keep on keeping on.
Not everything is for everybody. Yeah.
That's exactly, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I totally respect that. And then, same. And
I have 2 divorces to tell me I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Oh, well.
Moving on.
That was the best comment of the day. Lauren said 10,000% agree. I get what you're saying. I can't imagine how hard it must be to have so many eyes on you, especially with cancel culture being the way it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm telling you. And that's funny, because like, I've had one hater, so you know, that's not a lot of haters, but
it's one too many.
It is. It feels like about 1,000. I'm gonna tell you what. When somebody's unkind, even you're like, God, like, whoa, like, it's almost like fire hose, like you said, like Jesus, like, whoa. Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard. So I also get both sides. I mean, I think I want to just represent that too, that there's both sides to this equation. Sure. And I wish for Rachel a different response, because I think it really hurt her image. Yeah. And I don't think she meant to be, you know, malicious. Mm-hmm. I just think it was, you know, not, she probably wasn't mindfully considering how that was all going to come across. Nope. And I could be just as guilty. I mean, I could say just something out of my face, and you guys know I'm off the cuff. You guys know that that's part of, I think, who I am, is to be organic.
But that is okay.
But man,
and that's what we have to make it okay to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
By being accountable for the mistakes and pivoting later. If we don't, it's just
right. You have an opportunity, right? Again, and that's leadership. To me, leadership,
true story,
is stepping into the fuck uppedness, which is not a word. It's when we make a mistake.
Totally a word.
We just made it one. But like, I feel like that's really the strength of leadership is saying, I really did not do this well. I didn't see this well. I didn't come at it the way that I could have. And I'm really sorry about that. And I feel like there's just something, I mean, I've apologized to my kid for how I parent her. I've, you know, pulled her aside when I'm being an asshat. And I'm like, hey, by the way, that was a really shitty move right there, what I did or said. And she'll go, oh, it's okay, Mom. And I go, no, it's not. I don't want her to ever understand that adults, because we're adults, are the ones that we never make mistakes. There's nothing less healthy than setting that tone for your kids. And so I will say to her, no, it's really not okay. I'm grateful you would be able to find forgiveness for me, but I want you to understand, I make mistakes. I say stupid shit. I do things wrong. Sometimes I don't parent the best way I wish I could. It's that kind of conversation with people that I think creates deeper connection.
It does. So if you can do it in public spaces,
it's creating
connection. You have that ability to do that in public spaces and model that.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of what a gift that can be for so many people to see and do that.
Lead at the charge.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it as leadership. You're totally spot on with
it's
that.
leadership to step into that shit. And when you make a mistake, it's okay to make a mistake, but step into that shit with grace and just say, wow, you know, if you really don't think you did, I know that's a whole other conversation. I'm just saying, I really feel like when you're getting enough feedback that it's like, okay, clearly this was not interpreted the right way. That's like time to step into your leadership, right? That responsibility. And so I hope I would do that. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm human. Like I said, I'm not throwing stones at her because I feel like that's really unfair.
No, we are not.
It makes
throwing
me
stones.
sad.
We just had the thought, and we're like,
so we were having a
talk
really
about that.
powerful
We could talk
conversation
about
about
that.
accountability, and that was really where this all got born. Was we
Yes,
were
it
talking about
was.
accountability, and we were like, oh God, because it was just painful to watch the whole like her friends were commenting.
Mhm.
It was like, oh, it was
It
really
was the train wreck. You
it was
can't
a
look away.
really uncomfortable train wreck to watch, like really uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, sister. And so, like I said, you know, that's really tough. But I really hope that, you know, people that are in positions on social media take that as a leadership position.
Yes.
And have that awareness that you can step into that. And I think
Yes.
that's really important that we model, right? Again, it's always that modeling for others to step into their own greatness and see their responsibility and accountability and all that stuff. So anyway, we didn't mean to go all deep and heavy, but it was a really good conversation Natalie and I had on the side, and we had talked about putting it in there somewhere, and then it really kind of never gelled with like what we were going to be talking about. And so I was like, well, as
How about today?
Bye-bye. I know, right? Like, we couldn't even we're like,
you know, I just realized, I'm sorry for you in YouTube and Instagram land, but over your shoulder in Facebook land, you can see the beautiful Laughing Lotus Wellness. What are you going to call it?
It's the Laughing Lotus, the heart of Laughing Lotus Sanctuary. That's what it is. One of my Insight Timer people helped me put it together.
Right here.
It's so cool.
It is amazing.
It's so cool. Like you can't, I would to take you on, like, look at me inside, you would shit. It's so cool. It's coming along. So this is this grand thing I'm building, and it's not as big as it probably looks for you guys. It's like, would it be enough to fit 2 or 3 people pretty comfortably? But if you were going to like yoga, but it is an awesome space. And so super, super excited. We're getting to the end. I've got an event in a couple weeks. I'm going to do a tea ceremony and healing meditation for women who would like to come and do a tea ceremony and healing with me on Saturday the 8th, right before Mother's Day. And I really want to host it out there. We've been busting. I mean, like Zach was out last night doing it. I mean, we stand walls.
The other thing about this is this lady and her husband have put it together. I'm like, what in the what? I'd be like, I could have a cardboard box, maybe.
It is legit.
It's legit. This thing is off the chain.
What I'm going to say is, like, here's the irony about doing something like this is, and I love it because we laugh. He had a nickname for it. Shit, I wish I could remember what Zach called it. Oh, he had a funny technical engineer like term for it. And it was like where your project gets away from you. Like this started off as, could you make me something to meditate in the outdoors? And now it's like legit, like a room in the outside of my backyard. I mean, like it is like not a joke.
It's like a 3-season porch detached from the house.
That's totally what it is. So like, there's my gazebo that's all like hemmed in. So it turned out way fancier than we really intended. So we kind of have to have a good laugh about it. But yeah, it's really cool. It's going to be a really fun space. It's got great
energy. Live in
Minnesota.
Come to her events. It's amazing. Their backyard is amazing. Obviously, you can see.
It's hard to see some of it, but it's so pretty once it fills in. We've got a really beautiful path back there, and it's all wooded when it fills in. It's just
do some dancing around that fire.
Oh, hell yeah, we are. Boop, that's going down. We already have some pictures and videos of that happening once.
That did.
That Natalie might not like to make them onto the interwebs. My very favorite, I will not show you the video, was her doing the splits in my backyard.
I did do that. When Natalie has this tendency, I don't have alcoholic beverages like very often. And somehow like in college, I wasn't even a drinker really in college. I've never been a big drinker. Yeah. Well, I came from a drinking family, so that's probably why. Yeah. But anyway, I just believe that my 7th grade splits body should show up. It is not a good idea in my 40s.
I was so impressed though. Can we speak of it? I could work for the next 12 months and not get anywhere near Natalie's splits ability. I was like, well, I thought she was joking. I'm like, no. Holy shit, you can actually do the splits. So I just want you all to know she has superhuman powers, and we've had just a little bit of alcohol. They like this.
It's a good time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's some of my favorite memories, I'm just telling you, are just you being silly, because you don't do that much. So when you do and you get really silly, it's like tickles me in every single layer of my being. It cracks me up so hard. So anyway, so you guys, blessings, love, and light to you all.
Cody with an
Cody
I.
with a K.
K. Cody with a
Cody
K.
with an I.
Oh God, I don't even know what that guy was.
We watched the what's the
that
show?
was another
with
video
the-
of me that should never go public. Ever.
Yeah. Nope, I'm not going to do that to you. So we watched the show from the
Sister
Wives. Thank you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing the like I can see it in my brain.
Sister Wives.
And she
I had never
died.
seen this
She
monstrosity.
came over. I was having a minute. I was having a really bad day, and she came to be a friend savior, and we may have had some wine. And we were watching TV, and I don't even know what it was. First of all, if you've ever watched, you know where we're going. But this guy's name is Cody with a K, and she had some wine.
I had some wine.
Cody with that,
and I had some opinions of the man who's married to 4 women. Mm-hmm. So I got myself started. I pulled out a little red wagon and proselytized.
There is a
K.
ramble on my videos that is, when I say priceless, I mean, if I'm having a bad day, I can pull that shit up and relive it all over again. So it was priceless. So anyway, so there'll be more of us. I mean, never fear.
Never fear.
There'll be more of us.
Clearly, we can't ever just stop talking.
Nope.
That doesn't happen.
So just so you know, we'll be around. So just hang in there with us, please, friends.
Yes.
We beg your patience, and we'll be around. And we hope you guys will stay tuned and hang with us and watch for other events and things that'll be coming forward. And
thank you.
Yeah, just thanks for sharing space with us. We've been really, really blessed and really grateful for this structure during this crazy amount of time. It was a big old lifesaver in a lot of ways. So thanks.
And you were a big old part of that. So
yes,
thank you.
So thank you so much. We're so grateful. All right, friends, get out there and have an awesome weekend. We will see you later.
See you later. And now we're going to do the little awkward
I know. And now we're going to do the awkward where we have to go and turn everybody's things. I can't reach that.